Hey, Shalom. First off, I want to start out by saying, Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. All right. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives to do so. And to the scattered, hopeful elect across the four corners of the earth, and those among the heathen nations that look like the heathen nations, pursuant to Jeremiah 12:9, known as the speckled birds. I am disciple Parium, coming to you with a lesson. I am disciple Parium, a follower of Great Millstone, coming to you with a lesson in truth and sincerity. This lesson is going to be titled "Physically Sound to be Spiritually Sound." So, a good soldier of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, focusing on enduring hardships, pleasing power, by avoiding worldly distractions and being mentally ready and through studying His Word and renewing the mind, all while putting on the full armor of power, as it says in Ephesians. So when we get our first epistle, this will be 1 Timothy 4:8. I'm going to read it in NLT, and it says, physical training is good, but training for godliness is much better, promising benefits in this life and in the life to come. All right, so we know that in the life to come is you're living to, in the kingdom of heaven. All right, and we know we're going to be given new bodies. All right, that's that bodies. You have bodies terrestrials and bodies celestials, but the body of the celestial is greater than the terrestrial. Okay, and I'm roughly paraphrasing. First, we'll go to 1 Corinthians 6 verses 19 and 20, and it reads, "What, know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of power, and ye are not your own? For ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify power in your body and in your spirit, which are powers." Okay? So, we're not our own. It's showing you that, there's no, essentially, free will, in a sense. Okay? But we got to glorify Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai within ourselves, or in our bodies. All right? That the spirit has to come and dwell amongst you. It's not like you just get the spirit out of a sudden. No. Now we'll go to 2 Timothy chapter 2, verses 3 and 4, in the KJV, and it says, "Though therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier." Okay, so we don't get entangled with the worldly things of this life, and that's not the lot of a soldier. And that word soldier, when you go into the etymology, it says as one who obeys the commands of and contends in the cause of another. Mid 14th century, it says originally, especially in the language of faith. Okay. So as far as being chosen by the Spirit, I want to get 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 2 in the NLT, and it reads, "God the Father knew you and chose you long ago, and His Spirit has made you holy. As a result, you have obeyed Him and have not been cleansed." You have obeyed Him and have been cleansed by the blood of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. I'm going to read that again. It says 1 Peter 1 and 2 in NLT. It says, "God the Father knew you and chose you long ago, and His Spirit has made you holy. And as a result, you have obeyed Him and have been cleansed by the blood of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach." All right? It says, may God, or may power, give you more and more grace and peace. All right? And that's what we can pray for, especially when you read Psalms, 51, it's a heavy, but you pray for these things. Okay? Go to Galatians 5 and 17, the NLT, and it reads, "The sinful nature wants to do evil, which is just the opposite of what the Spirit wants. Okay? And the Spirit gives us desires that are the opposite of what the sinful nature desires. These two forces are constantly fighting each other. So you are not free to carry out your good intentions. Verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, and faith. When you get that word fruit in the blue letter, the Strong's G 2590 is pronounced karpos. It says the fruit of one's loins, i.e. his progeny, his posterity. So that's speaking of, of family lineage. Okay, so that's not just everybody. It says that which originates or comes from something in effect. We go to Luke chapter 8, verse 11 to 15. It says, "Now the parable is this: the seed of the world is power. The seed of the word is power." It says, "Those by the wayside are they that hear. Then cometh the devil, right, or the deceiver, and taketh away the word out of their hearts, lest they should believe and be saved. They on the rock are they, which when they hear receive the word with joy, and these have no root, which for a while believe, and in time of temptation fall away. And that which fell among thorns are they which, when they have heard, go forth and are choked with cares and riches and pleasures of the life." So it's kind of, you see the parallel between 2/3, all right, and Israelite foreigners. So it says, choked with care and riches of the pleasures of this life, and bring no fruit to perfection. But that on the good ground are they which in an honest and good heart, having heard the word, keep it, and bring forth fruit with patience. And we know that patience is suffering, okay? And we know we can't take any vengeance of our own, but we know that vengeance is given unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So, with that, again, pray this lesson was edifying. Kwam Yasharallah, Abba Ba. Shalom.